Veterans Day is a day of reflection. It's a day of expressing gratitude, a day of remembrance, a day to honor all American vets for their patriotism, the love for their country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Whether you wear the uniform today or you wore it decades ago, you represent a fundamental truth. The true strength of our military is in the spirit and the skill of the servicemen and women who wore the uniforms of the nation's armed forces. This morning we had the pleasure of recognizing a few of our veterans from New Beginning Christian Church, as well as guest veterans, during a breakfast that was so eloquently prepared by our cuisine team. The fellowship was good, the food was good, and it was good and pleasant to dwell in unity with our brothers and sisters in the armed forces. We're told that we should come to know those who labor among us. During that breakfast, it was an opportunity to get to know each other just a little bit more. So I encourage you, every time you come across or get or fellowship with somebody, get to know something new about them. So for those of you who are unable to attend our breakfast, allow me to introduce you to our veterans. If any of you are in the congregation, when I call out your names, please stand. Aaron. That have not been accounted for during war times of the past. They are known as prisoners of war or comrades missing in action. A special ceremony and now a tradition has been established in dining facilities of setting a separate table in honor of our POWs and missing comrades. On Veterans Day, you may see this special table in many restaurants. We have an example of that table in the front. This table is displayed to signify those individuals who are missing but not forgotten. And it has been in place since the end of the Vietnam War in 1973. You see, not all veterans of the Vietnam War made it home. There are 2,646 Americans unaccounted for at the end of the Vietnam War in all theaters of operation. But since the end of the war, there have been 1,062 that have been accounted for. But as of today, November 2022, there are still 1,584 U.S. service members or civilians that have still not been accounted for. Our POWs in Vietnam have been away so long that so many people have forgotten about them, but they're still there. So the table has been set as a memorial to remember, not to play taps to say they're gone, but just to acknowledge to all of us and to the families that we haven't forgotten them, that our hearts are still with you, that we're still looking. And prayerfully one day, either that individual will come home or their remains will be found, and they too can be accounted for. Amen. Now the table has gone away a little bit from just POWs and MIAs. You may see this table set in various venues just representing other people that have been missing or other people that have fallen. Your police department may set a table. Your fire department may set a table. On Friday, we had the opportunity to be at Buffalo Wings, and they had a table set for the veterans. Chick-fil-A is very good at setting a table and recognizing their veterans. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to direct your attention to the video.
Present. Command. Reload. Present. Command. Reload. Command.
We call your attention to this small table which occupies a place of dignity and honor. The table is round to show our everlasting concern for those who are no longer with us and missing from our ranks. They are men and women who served our country. We call them prisoners of war, missing in action, or killed in action. We call them comrades, friends, and family. They are unable to be with their loved ones this evening, so we join together to pay a humble tribute to them and to remember. Allow me to explain the meaning of the arrangement of this special table. The table, set for one, is small. It symbolizes the frailty of one soldier alone against the captors. It symbolizes the loneliness we feel without them. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their motives when answering their country's call to duty. The candle reminds us of the light of hope which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home. The single rose, displayed in a vase, signifies the blood they have shed to ensure the freedom of our beloved country. The rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our comrades who will not return. The red ribbon, tied so prominently on the vase, is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of thousands who bear witness to the tragedy of those who are missing. A slice of lemon rests on the plate to remind us of their bitter fate. There is salt. When sprinkled on the plate, it reminds us of the countless volunteers of families and loved ones as they wait. The wine glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us again. The chair is forever empty. They are not here. Tonight, we take time to recall those who were our comrades in arms. We depended on them for aid and support. Let us remember them and never forget their sacrifices.
Amen. At this time, I'm going to call Deaconess Stephanie Newkirk, and she will have a tribute.
Today, we are paying tribute to our missing man, Harry Lee Davis. June 25th, 1949 through February 10th, 2018. Harry Lee Davis was born on June 25th, 1949 in Wilmington, North Carolina. He attended New Hanover County Public Schools and graduated from Williston High School in 1967. In 1968, Harry joined the U.S. Army 82nd Airborne Division and became a military police officer at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. It was there that Harry's life was forever changed. In 1970, a fellow military police officer's gun accidentally discharged, and the bullet struck Harry in the chest, hit his spine, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down, leaving him confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. From that wheelchair, Harry decided what type of man he would become, and he began to uniquely define himself. After his debilitating injury, Harry earned a sociology BA from the University of North Carolina, Wilmington in 1979, while, I might add, returning to his love of art. As an artist, Harry was self-taught and developed his natural ability and artistic techniques through trial and error along with long hours of practice. Working with oil paints on canvas, he branded his two trademarks as having painstaking attention to detail and the use of bold, bright colors. His art allowed him to travel all over the country, participating in various art shows displaying his gift. Over the years, Harry became widely recognized as one of the premier African-American artists in the country, and he was the recipient of many awards and honors. You can visit his website at harrydavisstudios.com to view his gallery of artwork. Throughout Harry's life, he was an avid reader of Black American culture, as evidenced by his artwork. He had a love for African and Black American culture and history. He began using this knowledge and research by sponsoring Black history events at the church he loved, New Beginning Christian Church, and other churches in the community also. Harry has been a member of New Beginning Christian Church since its inception, and he shared a special bond with the senior pastor, our senior pastor, Robert L. Campbell, who also ordained Harry to become a deacon in 2005. Harry had accomplished many things in his life following his accident. He did not let the wheels of a wheelchair limit his life. If you knew Harry, you knew that he was a cool dude, a friend, mentor, fishing partner to an extraordinary number of people. The positive impact of his life and legacy is far-reaching. Harry departed this life February 10th, 2018. The following is a tribute by Harry's family. Harry, your warm, loving spirit and down-to-earth connection to everyone you met will always be remembered. You touched so many lives in a positive way. The strength and tenacity you showed through so many difficult situations in your life is inspiring to us all. You showed, with God's help, the true meaning of turning lemons into lemonade, or adverse situations into positive ones. It was truly my pleasure to stand before you to pay tribute to our deacon, our man of valor, brother, friend, husband, mentor, and gifted artist, Harry Lee Davis. At this time, we'd like to recognize in our midst Harry's sister, Carol Davis Young, who's also a member of New Beginning. If you would stand and wave at us. I would also like to say that Harry's mother, Evangelist Carol Davis, would have loved to come today, but I'm sure that she's 94. She'll be 95 on the 12th of December. She would have loved to have been here, but I'm sure the weather looking a little whatever, but we would just like to recognize her also, that she is still with us, still praying and believing God. Thank you.
Pastor, that concludes our tribute. That concludes our Veterans Celebration. A special thank you, if we may, again to the kitchen, to the